is a crucible of relentless war. It has ever been so. An era as long as the mountains are unyielding. But as the storms gather again, it presents a chance for the brave to bring about an age of reckoning. I come to the Dwarf High King as a herald of such times, and so I find myself at the King's right hand. My presence is timely, for dire news comes from the south. Greenskins flock to the banner of a cruel war boss. Now, my liege, Thorgrim Grudgebearer, leads a mighty throng from Karazakarak, smashing aside any foes that block our path. If Grudgebearer desires to return the Karaz Angkor to its former glory, then he must rid his lands of vile greenskins. Those gathering within the shadows of Everpeak are a good start.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Malaiz Gaming. Tonight we're going to be playing Ultimate... Sorry, a little bit of a mix-up there. Tonight we're going to be playing Total War, and we are going to be playing a new campaign as the Dwarves.
Hail to you, Grombrindle, ancestor of legend. You have secured Karazakarak, defended it from the greenskin fiends, and put their gutless horde to rout.
Alright, so our first grudge has been issued. We have to defeat an army belonging to the Bloody Spears, and we get 1,000 coins for that. So here we are in our first army with...
I am the White Dwarf.
Now Grombrindle here, with the White Dwarf, was a new hero that you could play if you... I think he was released during BlizzCon of last year. You could get it... I forget exactly. But now we're in the end of January 2017, and everyone has access to Grombrindle, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do a campaign with the Dwarves. So we just finished the campaign with the Undead, and so this campaign is going to be played on a normal difficulty, and we're going to also not use the computer to auto-do any battles. Unless it's absolutely completely pointless, but the whole point of this is to show every battle, even if we're going to lose. So we've got some pretty interesting starting units here, including some flamethrower infantry, some miners with blasting charges, and some gyrocopters. Now if we can keep these gyrocopters alive for the entire campaign, we're going to be in a really good spot. So they'll be very, very veteran status and pretty powerful. So I think what I want to do first, open up the building viewer here. Eventually we're going to need the hall of the High King. And I do want to build some artillery, so we're going to go with the Grudge. And then we want Quarreler, so we're going to upgrade that as well. Okay, that's 2 turns before we can do anything there.
You know who I am?
Now we've got our unit, 2 unit of warriors. Now this has got big guns, so I'm probably going to spend the first turn reinforcing my army with 1. Or what if I go into town? Can I do more than one if I go into town?
Forward! I'm here
How about
now. It's no bother. I'll do it.
Oh, that's the only... I only had enough money to recruit 1 more. Alright. And then we can go to technology. The first thing I want to do is dwarf treasuries will increase the income from all settlements by 10%. I think that's a good way to start the game off. And then we'll end. So I'm going to try my best to not attack any of the other Dwarven factions and instead ally myself with them. So let's see. He didn't move, he didn't get reinforced. Alright. So let's go ahead and attack now. So we got a pretty big numerical advantage, it looks like. Alright, so they've got almost all, and then they have 2 units. But their archers are not going to have any type of armor. So our quarrelers here are going to just devastate them. Plus we've got the miners with the blasting charges, which will throw them in, which is going to have a pretty strong effect. So we'll put our hero on group 1. We'll put the dwarf warriors and miners on group 2. Alright, put him in the front. And we don't have any artillery, so we're probably going to have to approach them. Miners with blasting charges will be on 3. Flamethrowers will be on 4. Quarrelers 5, and then 0 will be the copters. Now we are playing on battle realism mode, so we won't be able to move all the way across the map. It doesn't look like they're moving, so I'm going to readjust my troops over in this direction. So the basic strategy here is going to be... Wow, there's only 3 of those in a squad, I guess. Sure are fast, though. They have 2 bombs they can drop also. I do want to be careful not to get them shot by the archers, but they are great scouts. Alright, so there we've got the enemy hero. Archers, and main troop. They're readjusting here, which is fine. As long as I stay out of their range. So I'm going to have my troops form up right on this ridge line here. I want to make sure that they're not running. There's no point for them to run. And the Iron Drakes, although they are ranged, they're very short range. They just decimate unarmored units.
Take to the air.
We're going to be able to use these gyrocopters to hopefully flank and hit the enemy where they can't see us, or where they can't counter very easily. Increase speeds a little bit here. We do have to be careful, there are only 3 of them, so if we charge them in too early and the enemy archers can focus on us, we're going to be in not a very good place. So we got to keep that in mind. Alright, enemy army is reforming. Once we get to the point where they actually start marching towards us, then we'll have to put time back to normal. And once we get some artillery, then we can start changing our strategy a little bit as well.
Yes, then. Killers! Malaiz castle! Yes! On the way! Moving out! Plow through! Killers! Plow through!
Alright, so now we can bring these units up. The gyrocopters actually have a decent firing range. The problem is they're not very powerful when it comes to taking shots, so I don't want them to be getting shot at. Which looks like they are. Get out of there! Alright. So now I'm going to have my archers focus on firing there. My other units are moving to form up right now. So now I can have my gyrocopters move in a flanking formation to come around the outside. My quarrelers, as you can see, are just devastating their arrow boys. Alright, here come their troops. Heroes engaged. You can see they're coming in here. We are getting shot at. Let's see if we can get some blasting charges thrown in there. There we go. Alright, gyrocopters are going to come in and start firing these archers as well. Look at the fire. Wow. So now I'm going to focus all of these units on this side here. And I'm going to have my hero get onto their hero. Alright, so now I got my gyrocopter firing this other unit of archers. Quarrelers firing on their archers. Wow, look at these gyrocopters. Enemy lord is wounded. So they're going to start running. And now they're taking fire. Gyrocopters didn't even get a chance to drop their gun barrels. So now we're going to move them up. And we're going to use their speed to our advantage here. We're going to drop some bombs on these archers. Alright, now we'll move them over here. Get them ready. Bombs away. Yeah. Alright, now we're just continuing to shoot them. Now one of our units of Dwarf Warriors did get pushed away, but they were really melee heavy. So we can end the battle. So 14 kills with our main hero, 29 with one of our units of war. 38 on those gyrocopters. Those things are pretty. We managed to get 30 kills with our archers as well, the quarrelers. So I'm going to execute the captives. If I allow the orcs to get away, they're going to keep building. So now I need to occupy the Pillars of Grungy. The problem is, we did take some casualties in that battle. Alright, so I want this hero here to be... Wow. This guy's got some amazing skills. Alright, I'm going to give him Legendary Commerce, which is income from trade plus 20%. Now he's got a unit of orcs chosen, some range. I've got my troops. What does he have in the Pillars of Grungy? Goblins, orc boys. Alright, I think I want to get some artillery before I advance. So, can I still recruit? Oh, it says I can. So I think I'm going to dismiss this unit of miners. They're okay, but they're really not that great. And I'm going to get 2 units of warriors. I can't get any quarrelers yet, so that'll be... And then 1 turn until I can get siege, so I'll end our turn. Alright, so there's another unit of Bloody Spears. Such is the age and renown of the White Dwarf that many sagas say he strove with the ancestor gods themselves. It is the claim the White Dwarf does not refute, and no one dares challenge. For to doubt Grimbaldo's word call him false would surely end badly for the accuser. So what can we get here? Melee attack and melee defense for 25 turns. Increased casualty rate, public order, and corruption. No. Increase him specifically, make him much more powerful. Or research rate, upkeep, construction, and recruitment cost. That's what I want. Grombrindal should become a vessel through which Grungri's wisdom is transferred to the dwarves, but the lands within the Karazhan core that will benefit will be of his own choosing. This will give us bonuses to all of our research. It'll make all of our units less expensive so we can build up more quickly. It'll reduce the cost of our construction so we can again build more quickly, and it'll recruitment costs, so that's going to be just hugely beneficial. And I don't think we really need these other things as much as we do this. So that's going to knock down some of the time it takes to research as well.
It is time.
Alright, so Karazhan will allow us to now recruit. How many turns is it for artillery? 1 turn, 2 artillery, and a quarreler. That works, so we're going to end it. It's going to be worth it to just have a pretty powerful force that we should be able to take the next 2 objectives relatively easily with. Bloody Spears is falling away, so we'll be able to take the next objective easier. 5% income bonus to all settlements.
Grombrindal to Kazakh. Kaz.
Alright, so it says we have an overwhelming force to attack, so. And we have siege now, and they have no range, so they can't actually attack our guns. So we should be able to just basically endlessly, relentlessly harass with them with that. Alright, so we'll put our hero on number 1. Put our front line of dwarf warriors as number 2. Miners with blasting charges, and also the flamethrower troops will both be 3. Our quarrelers will be 4. Our archer, let's do the catapults as 9, and we will do 0 as our fast moving helicopters. Alright, so we want our hero in the front. We want a line of dwarf warriors right here to protect. I want the miners with blasting charges and the flamethrowers behind them. The quarrelers I actually want to form in the front of the warriors in skirmish mode. So they'll fire and fire and fire, but if the enemy gets up close, they'll retreat behind the warriors. And the catapults, grudge throwers, they've got great range. So go ahead and start the battle. There's the enemy. And it looks like they're within firing range, so we're going to move our gyrocopters over here on the left hand side to put them in a flanking position. We can see the grudge throwers here unleashing. Oh wow, 25% of them just disintegrated. And they really have no option but to run towards us. So we're going to bring our gyrocopters over here on the side and do a bombing pass. You can see the little circles underneath the gyrocopters denoting where the fire is going to be. There we go. So now they're taking fire from the catapults. And we can turn and begin fire on these units. Trying to make it quick and merciful and destroy their main hero quickly to break their morale. So you can see they're being picked off as they try to run away. Gyrocopters seem to have a pretty slow rate of fire though. Very accurate, but very slow rate of fire. Those things this will be really good later on when we have to start fighting like giants and such though. We have them so early on. really use that Dwarven technology to the fullest. Another interesting thing about this hero is he's got this ability called Grow Brindle Has No Fear, which makes him unbreakable, so he cannot run away. Nope. So we can see here he's engaged. Oh, we got the flamethrower troops and the that was just absolute slaughter. He got a little bit of blood on him. The flamethrower troops severely hamper the enemy, not even a single kill. Severely they hamper the enemy's ability to continue attacking. It's just devastating to morale when you see your entire team just get blanketed with flames. The artillery did over 50 kills each their first battle. Total troops killed or captured 70. So, a Razor Standard, nice, which gives us plus 10 armor piercing damage. So I think Grow Brindle is got armor piercing already, so we'll go ahead and give that to him. Alright. We are going to occupy the settlement. And we completed the grudge, so we earned $1,000.
Your dowry have been put to...
So our next objective is to capture, loot, occupy, or raise 3 different settlements. And now we also have a quest over here on the right hand side called the Ambush at Thundering Falls. And once we get a full army, we should be able to go do that. So let's see. This one right here, unit experience +1 for all new recruits for the entire faction. That is so good. Recruitment costs reduced by 5% for all land units. Campaign movement range increased. Casualty replenishment rate increased. And global recruitment capacity. Gosh, he's got such good abilities. I think I'm going to go with the +1 unit experience. And I'm going to spend one more turn here before I go to the next battle because it's going to be reinforced. So I'm going to get another unit of Quarrelers, which will be unit rank 1 veteran, which will be nice. And then I got these 4 units of Dwarves for the holding the front line. Got the Flames. Trying to think long term here. I think 3 units of Quarrelers is going to be fine because I'm going to have to get other units as well. So now that we have the Pillars of Grungy, we can open up the building viewer. Switch over to that. Do I see any unique buildings? Not really. So what I want to go for here, let's see, a trinket maker. Costs $585 and it generates 200 income, so it pays for itself in 3 turns. Or I can go for increased growth and casualty replenishment rate, so I get my troops back faster. I'm gonna go for the income initially.
The dwarfs need me.
Alright, so we're out of movement anyway, so we're going to be stuck here for another turn. So I do want to try to make contact with some of the other Dwarven clans shortly, if possible. Not only for trade reasons, but for defensive reasons. Pretty much for every kind of reason. Greenskins have absorbed the Teeth Snatches into their federation, which is fine.
White dwarf.
You're not right, Dad!
So this unit here is still suffering casualties from being in enemy territory. Is that what's going on? Armies with a low fightingness will suffer attrition. Okay. So because they keep losing and losing and losing, they're actually losing troops that are like almost abandoning. So what we'll do is we will attack Mount Squighorn. It says it's not even a... well, said I was going to do every battle, so... I'm not even going to worry about putting units into groups here at the start. I'm just going to make sure that my catapults are within fire range, and then I'll start the battle, and then I'll move things around while they're approaching, make it quicker. It's interesting that it says that the artillery, the Grudge Thrower, is more rudimentary of a defensive unit than a cannon, which I guess technologically makes sense. But when it comes to effectiveness, those Grudge Throwers, even if they miss, absolutely devastate the units behind them, and they have a much longer range than cannons. So, and many times you'll find that Grudge Throwers actually completely run out of ammunition because they've been firing for so long. That doesn't always apply to cannons. So we're going to have our helicopters fly over the top here, drop some bombs on these guys and girls. I think there's girl orcs. And here we go. Brutal. And now we can turn and begin firing on the hero from behind. And again, they have no range units, so this strategy that I'm doing here will be wholly just complete suicide to attempt against an enemy that has archers, at least archers that aren't being attacked by another unit already. And now we have 3 units of quarrelers, which is much more than we had the last couple of times, which will make their charge up the hill that much more devastating. I just want to keep switching targets with the helicopters. They've got great range, and they're firing to the rear of the enemy. So if I just keep firing to the rear of these enemy units as they try to get up the hill. Oh, and now you can see the packages coming down too. Those are from my miners. Oh, look at those quarrelers shooting right over the top of the rocks. So now I'm having dwarf warriors and my hero converge on this unit here. And I'm using his ability to make his army unbreakable. And now you can see as we're charging down the hill, it's pretty much become just a slaughter. Well, but the enemy is reforming somewhat here and there. Alright, so we're going to plow through these first couple battles since the enemy's in full retreat and they have no reinforcement. But it won't be like that once we get to fighting the Chaos forces. And if you watch my last video, you'll see that once the Chaos gets here, it's possible of pretty much completely ending your game on the spot. Alright, so we now have the entire province of the Silver Road taken, which means we can go down here to the bottom left and issue a commandment. So we're going to kind of go with, since this is our actual main settlement, we're going to go with increasing tax rate. We're going to go for building our income here, since this is our infrastructure to start with. And then we're going to go with a barley field to increase growth. Alright, so done pretty well so far. So let's go with another +2 unit experience for all recruits trained. We're going to get some really, really high veteran units initially, which we will then be able to use for the rest of the game and hopefully continue to get even further veteran. I might even get them to next rank, get this to maxed out, and then drop all of these dwarf warriors and rehire them at rank 3. We'll see. Alright, so we're doing pretty good here. Karak, we can't upgrade until we get 2 points, and we're going to have our first point next turn, but we are going to be increasing our growth here. So we can't go anywhere, so let's see, is it worth building anything else? Yeah, I mean, I guess I can build 3 units this time. I don't really want more, so I'll get rid of 3 units of dwarves to span them.
I'm here now.
and hire 3 new ones, and they'll be rank 2 veteran, which will help a lot, and then we'll end up. Okay, so they went underground, I think. Yep, they went underground all the way over there to where the objective is. So I'm going to have to make a decision because I'm going to go south here as well as have to go towards that up there. So I have enough points now to upgrade one of these secondary settlements, but if I upgrade this primary one, then I'll get the ability to get, I need an armory. I could build an armory, and then I could get cannons, thunderers, longbeards with great weapons, and longbeard. So I'm 7 turns away from that. I think that would be the best thing, just go straight to longbeards.
How can I help?
Because longbeards, and then they'll be trained at veteran status as well. Basically an impenetrable front line to start with.
I am the White Dwarf.
Alright, and next turn we're going to get the ability to increase our income from settlements by another 5%, which will bump us up again. So what I'm actually going to do is go underground here, and I'm going to go way over here towards Carrick Drawn. I'm going to go to the Pillars of Grungy here, and I'm going to recruit Vikram Drakebeard. And Vikram has a really nice bonus that he comes with that reduces the construction cost of all buildings in his local region. So he's going to be a defensive lord, and he's going to basically hold this area right here, and he's going to reduce the construction costs. He's also going to discourage the enemy from hopefully wanting to attack. So what I'm going to do for him, since he's a defensive hero, is I'm going to give him 1 unit of dwarf warriors and 2 units of veteran quarrelers. And that's going to be a really strong deterrent combined with the garrison that's already there. And that will allow me to travel south with my main hero and take these objectives. This quest up here is definitely something I want to do, but I want to get as many of these objectives down to the south as I can. So let's go ahead and end that turn. Go to interested to see what happens. Alright.
It is an honor.
Defensive alliance with the purple dwarves. Yes, please. So we're strength rank 2 right now, and they're strength rank 51. But they may have a chance to move up in the world with our protection. Not if they keep getting pushed away like that, though. And an enemy army is forming in Varenka Hills, looks like. So I don't know if I don't necessarily. What? Ancient underground foes attacked. So some of my buildings are damaged at Mount Squighorn. Oh, great. Repairs 8 gold, that's not bad. Repair. And look at this. He came back. Okay. Get to Mount Squighorn. Alright, so we should be able to prevent them from... Well, if I attack... No, I don't want to attack. It's a defensive army. Focus. Alright, we'll go normal stance, and we should be able to attack them. I'm going to build, just in case they want to be even more aggressive, just one more unit of warriors, another unit of quarrelers, and a catapult. And that'll be a really powerful little mobile army right there. Okay, so we can see Grunge's teachings here. We have 21 more turns for the increased research rate, the upkeep for all units, and all construction. Okay, so we gotta take advantage of that. So I want to be a army that focuses, or this is actually my entire faction, isn't it? So I want to be a faction that focuses on its melee warriors. I want my Ironbreakers to eventually be pretty much unkillable. and so they have shields. So I want to go for interlocking shields. +5 armor for all Dwarven shield units, and +5 melee defense for all Dwarven shield units. That'll be a bonus that I can use for all of my units, not just the ones that I have in the beginning here. And Longbeards, mastercrafted weapons. That will allow me to get the bonus for shields, as well as a 10% bonus to weapon strength for anything with a mining pick or a hand weapon, which will help every unit I have forever, basically. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good place for us to stop this first episode. I'd like to thank everyone who has watched it through its entirety, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, consider liking and subscribing, so it really helps me out a lot, and I hope to see you on the next episode as we continue to build up our Dwarven Empire here in Total War Warhammer. Thanks again, and have a great night.